Hello everybody, sorry this is really late, I've been really busy this week, but here's my reaction video to the victory of the Daleks. Rosianna, I definitely know what you mean by a missing tenet in this episode. I think that in comparison to the last two episodes, this was definitely kind of a letdown. It was not as incredibly amazing as the last two, which, I mean, I guess it just set the bar really high, and then since it wasn't as good, it was kind of a letdown. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's not even surprising anymore in a series when the Daleks show up, because you're like, oh, well, they need to come in at some point during every season. So I really wish that they'd kind of let the Daleks go for a couple seasons, so then when they come back, you'd be like, oh my gosh, the Daleks are back. But I feel, because, I don't know, I feel like we see them so often that they're just like, oh, there they go again. And it's like, they're gone for good this time, but they aren't. So it's just, I feel like it's constantly, the Daleks are constantly coming back when they shouldn't. I think that they should be, like, put on the back burner for a few years and, like, let a really good story cook up. Not to say that the story they have created for this series isn't good, but I don't know, we'll see. The main thing I wanted to talk about in this episode, because, I mean, I didn't really like a lot of the storyline particularly, but I do like the threads that, like, are starting to come out in the series, like the crack in time that we see everywhere. There's also the fact that the TARDIS seems to be messing up. In addition to kind of leaving cracks, I don't know if it's the Doctor or the TARDIS that's leaving the cracks in time. I assume it's the TARDIS because I don't think that the Doctor, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I assume it's the TARDIS, and the fact that it keeps messing up. The first time he missed Amy for 2 years, and then the second time it was, 12 years, and the second time it was 2 years, and then he was a month late to meet Winston Churchill. Sorry, my mind wandered a little bit because I was looking at my turtle. But yeah, so I definitely am excited to see how that turns out and what's going on there. I think that when the TARDIS regenerated, something happened. Definitely something happened. And I'm excited to see what happened there. Also, something that really has me curious, I've been trying to figure out what it was, but obviously I don't know because I'm horrible at theorizing, as you all know, but something that's really interesting to me is the fact that Amy doesn't remember the Daleks. I think it was so much less exciting to see the Daleks than it was to hear that bit of information. The fact that she doesn't remember it, I'm really excited for that story arc that Moffat's obviously creating. I think that's going to be really, really interesting, and I don't know, I feel like this episode wasn't very good, but it definitely set up some things that I think are going to work out great in the end, and I'm excited for the next episode, as I've said about 6 times. I always say that so much, I use the word excited way too much when it comes to Doctor Who, but I mean, who isn't, right? That's all for this week. Sorry this video wasn't content heavy, but I will see you guys next week with the review of the next episode. Alonzo.